Hello and welcome to another episode of Character History. Now this time I wanted to talk about another character who has been one of my favourites since she was introduced after the events of Marvel's Dark Reign. I would like to talk about one of the attendants of Avengers Academy. So this episode we take a look at the history of Jenny Takeda, aka Hazmat. Now Jenny was a normal girl before she became Hazmat. She had a nice family, a credit card, a dog, an iPad and a boyfriend. While they were alone and trying to, have sex for the first time, her boyfriend said that he felt strange. Jenny asked if he wanted to continue, but he stated that he wanted nothing more than to be with her. So after another kiss, her boyfriend ended up in a coma. The doctors ran tests and then realised that she was the reason that he was in a coma, and so they quarantined her. Now, while Norman Osborn was still the director of defending the world after Secret Invasion, he found her along with other young adults and promised to help cure them, but for Jenny and a few others, he only made them 10 times worse. After Osborn was taken down, Jenny returned home, but after what Osborn had done to her, she accidentally killed the family dog and made her parents seriously ill. It was only when Hank Pym stepped in and invited her to attend Avengers Academy, where he promised he would find a cure for her condition, or at least teach her to control her volatile abilities. Jenny's powers were dangerous, as her body produced hazardous materials, even her sweat was toxic, so to keep her condition stable, she had to wear a specialised hazmat suit. Her powers would grow over time, like being able to produce a high-powered atomic blast, explode like a nuclear bomb, and gather up the energy she produced, and even produce an EMP. But she was still dangerous, and the suit made her develop a standoffish attitude. 2 fellow Academy members, Metal and Vale, went through a similar experience to Jenny under Osborn, and once the students realised that they would be visiting the high-tech super prison, the Raft, she needed Vale's help. As Norman Osborn was being held there, she wanted revenge and knew the others did too. Unknown to the Avengers, Jenny released an EMP off in the prison and the 3 sneaked off to find Osborn. Once they found him, they cornered him and they were so tempted to kill him, but he tried to buy himself time by stating that he could cure them if he wasn't in jail. At this time, Metal and Hazmat began to grow quite close, seeing as his entire body was metal and she was toxic, she didn't need to wear the suit around him. Reptile, the leader of Avengers Academy, brought up that the pair was perfect for each other, but it made them both feel really awkward around each other, so that kind of went off. But when Tigra, one of her instructors, was assaulted by a villain, Hazmat was furious, so she and Vale and another student, Stryker, went out and beat up the villain while he was powerless. Tiger expelled them for this act, but they were allowed to stay, but Hazmat was forced to take anger management sessions. Now during these sessions, the mutant Leech was invited by Pym to sit in with the sessions, which allowed her to be able to take the suit off, but when she went home to visit her parents, she was saddened that they thought she had been fixed permanently. Now there would be a battle where the young teens would be transported into their older bodies, but their minds would stay the same. However, for Hazmat, she was still upset because she was still in the suit in the future self. But with the help of Vale, they were able to defeat the villain after she learned that she could create antimatter. After that, she stated that she would always wear the suit and keep fighting regardless. But this was when Metal and Hazmat allowed each other to gain feelings for each other. They were both sad and frustrated that their future bodies were no better in their current state. This is when they became boyfriend and girlfriend, including at the prom, where they danced for the first time together. Then, the Fear Itself event occurred within the Marvel Universe, and Finesse, Stryker, Metal and Vale were trapped inside the Infinity Mansion with some big-time villains. Now, Hazmat made a plan to pretend to join the villain's side and accidentally explode like a nuclear bomb, but then they subdued the villains and set the mansion to self-destruct. However, Hazmat volunteered to keep the self-destruct running. Metal joined her, not wanting to be alone, and the two embraced, ready for the end, until Pym managed to get them out before it blew up. Hazmat and her fellow Academy members would move to the West Coast Manor for the new semester, but would find it hard to adjust. And when she gets scared, she wants Metal to consummate their relationship before they get sent away from each other. However, she backs out after still being emotionally scarred after causing her former boyfriend to fall into a coma the last time they tried. Although having a slight grudge against X-23 at the time, Metal and Hazmat stayed together until the end of the series, finally consummating their relationship. However, happiness was not going to last. Now, Avengers Arena launched, where 16 young Avengers were kidnapped by the villain Arcade and forced to fight on a desert island to the death until one remains. Naturally, none wanted to kill each other, so Arcade went to go and kill Hazmat to start things off. Metal stepped in to save her, but this resulted in him being murdered right in front of her by Arcade. During the course of Avengers Arena, Hazmat would grieve heavily over the death of Metal. She would rebuff any kindness shown to her, and she would be pretty vile and horrible to some of the other heroes. But towards the end, X-23 was driven rabid by a chemical agent and went straight after Jenny, which resulted in her suit being heavily damaged. Now, while running away, Reptile found her as she was about to explode in front of the group, but she managed to get into the water, not emitting the usual radiation. However, when the fight finished, she emerged, seemingly being able to control her powers. Another hero finished the fight after Arcade had fled, and they were all rescued from the island, all swearing never to speak of what transpired there. Now, Hazmat would then go undercover with her fellow Young Avengers to infiltrate Baron Zemo's headquarters to save a fellow survivor of the island. But then it came to a chance meeting with Arcade. Initially, Hazmat froze, being reminded of the horrific death of Metal at the hands of Arcade, before her friend stepped in, beating up Arcade and leaving him at her mercy. She then took aim and blasted him with a radiation blast in the same style that he had done to Metal. Now, there is more of her history to come as Avengers Undercover is still going on, but I'm sure she will become a better hero in the future, and I really do like her character. So that was the current history of Hazmat, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. Until next time, see you folks.